Hello, and welcome everyone. We are honored that you've chosen to be with us today. My name is Jerome Reynolds, and I am the Vice President of American Family Insurance Claims Operations, and I'm so excited for the next hour ahead. Here at American Family Insurance, we believe communities are stronger and the future is brighter when people are actively pursuing their dreams. That's why we created the DreamBank. Today, in celebration of Black History Month, we are delighted for the opportunity to welcome Grammy Award winning spoken word poet and artist Jay Ivy for an inspiring poetry performance and a fireside chat. Driven by his motivational creed, dreams don't come true, they are true, Jay has worked with top artists like John Legend, Kanye West, Jay-Z, and performed at events for Deepak Chopra, Michael Jordan, and many others. His versatility has truly inspired all walks of life, earning him a Peabody, a Clio, and Telly awards, and recognition as an NAACP Image Award Winning poet and artist. We're thrilled to have him with us today, and I can't wait to dive into the conversation and experience his work. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Jay Ivy as we begin with a special performance.
True life may seem at an all-time low. You tried everything, but you can't seem to find your flow. So success comes slow and problems tend to grow. You seen your friends shine like it's 100 degrees while you chilling at 10 below. It's cold out here, it's freezing. The bad times are increasing. Bad energy is all that your surroundings are releasing, so misery's been feasting on your soul. Vices grab hold and lows get heavy. You feel so heavy, but you can't block your blessings. When they come your way, you gotta be ready to receive. You gotta shake off the fear and believe, cause at times we're tested. Tested to see how strong we really are, how far we really go. There's an army growing, but you can't join unless you know what you're fighting for. Cause if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything, so stand tall. Know that you can't walk until you crawl. You can't run until you walk. You can't fly without a running start. So pump your arms when you come off the blocks, and it won't do you no harm to come off your block. Get out and see the world, cause everyone has their own mountaintop. It wasn't promised to a few, but promised to those who knew. So climb the way you breathe and never stop. Inhale your best, exhale the bad stuff. Keep on keeping on. See where you're going and work on getting there. Don't hate on others when others get theirs, cause you go get yours. You go knock down your own doors. Know that God go take care of you and yours. That's why miracles happen out of the blue. So know that and remember that can't nobody stop you but you, cause dreams don't come true. They are true. So dream big. Then after that, dream even bigger. So big that Martin and Coretta are up in heaven holding hands, smiling down at us with a tear in their eye and joy in their heart, saying amen, 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 amen. Miracles spring from a million nevers. When you're in the forest foraging for fate, don't forget that fear foils fantastic forevers. Our souls are tethered. Trash becomes treasures. Our dreams are vibrant when a hint of heather. Man, it's been the longest year ever. You caught up on your age, but lifespans can't truly be measured. Energy infinitely pulls us together like attempting to rake 1,000 deserts. Unafraid, be aware, stay aware, those snakes are quite clever. Look how they slither. Stop complaining, ain't nobody try to hear all that may cry me a shiver. It's cold in these streets. Got the world's tiniest violin on repeat. They call it the news. North, east, west, south, everybody singing the same blues. Out of tune, singing the same tune. Too many gone, too soon. God bless you. The hurt is real. The stove is hot, can't you feel? The dramatics are traumatic, can't we heal? Can we build without tearing each other down? The struggle is found in our bubbles. Around dinner tables, we no longer huddle. Isolated, the trouble festers in our heads. We need a team for the fam to move ahead, move ahead, move ahead. Do something that's gonna move me. You've been rare, now write your movie. Grooving me, let's dance. We living in an age that got you scared to hold hands. The revolution will not be televised or actualized unless we take a bold stance. Throw caution to the wind, play catch with chance. We got a real chance to change the world. The world changed right before our eyes. Spite controls our lives. Our power lies in the love forgotten. Can't feast on food that's grown rotten. To the off-guard guardians, what ways are you adopting? What streams of consciousness are you stopping? He's snapping. Peep the photography. Poetry is my anomaly. Obviously, it's easy to see that spiritually we living so frugal. Ring the alarm, sound the flugel. They love to use you, misuse you, per the usual, but you, me. We are the descendants of survivors who dared to dance in the rain and say, look at me shine. I sleep with a pen in my hand so I can write my dreams in hopes that the future will remember these times. Our dreams are a beautiful reflection of our hearts, our spirits, our souls, our minds. It's important that we make the most of this time. And we do that by remembering to keep our dreams alive. Life's a marathon, a maze of magic and mystery. On our quest to make our mark on history, we're sometimes troubled by the terrain. It's tough, but the aim remains the same. The mountaintop, the podium, breaking through the tape at the end of the race, in spite of the pain.
I keep on running, but my feet don't get tired. I keep on running, but my feet don't get tired. I keep on running, but my feet don't get tired.
Feet don't get tired.
My feet don't get tired.
My feet don't get
But
tired.
my feet don't get tired.
Giving up, what's that? Life I had you running in circles, man, what track? We on the go as soon as our feet in the ground make contact. In fact, each step taken might not be exact, but we grow through the pain, every bruise, every scratch. Don't trip, get those knees up, don't skip. Run through the competition, the division, your mind's negative dimensions. Don't put your doubts weigh you down. Fear suffocate every time that it's found. Don't put matter over your mind, breathe your dream, catch a second wind, move closer to your finish line. With each rep, better your time, your grind, don't be alarmed. You in the final stretch, man, pump those arms. Kill that noise, remember your joy, your passion. Look at the distance you passing. I'm asking, it's exhausting, but what ain't? Show them you can when they think that you can't. You ain't got no restraints. Your DNA is a gift. Kick, rock, roll, hop on your hips, grip your game, lift your game. It's a beautiful mission. Your song plays along, the body listens. The effects are stunning. One foot in front of the next, your steps keep drumming. Your heartbeat beats to the rhythm. All you gotta do is keep running.
I keep on running, but my feet don't get tired.
Keep running.
I keep on running, but my feet don't get tired.
My feet don't get tired.
I keep on running, but my feet don't get tired.
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 I found that truth is eternal and universal. So hold on and put love in your rehearsal, your commercial. Advertise your beliefs, your stance. March to the beat of the band, beat the path. Speak up and you will have your every need, plant every seed, cause you got soul. Enjoy the journey, dodge the potholes. Reinvent, reconnect, refine, respect and desire. Reignite that fire, share the torch, defend your fort before we all get scorched. Crabs don't do nothing but remain in the barrel. And the road to hope just gets more and more narrow. So let's rebuild the village, your hood, your block, block. Let's take it back to grandma's Sunday dinners where the love don't stop. Break out the huddle, juggle the struggle, they can't take what's yours. We the brand new people, know your word, dig deep in your soul. Kick the troll off the toe. There is no spoon, but there's a fork in the road. So night through life, know that you are the goal.
Keep on running, but my
The goal.
feet don't get tired.
My feet don't get tired.
I keep on running,
I keep
but
on
my
running,
feet don't get
but my feet don't get tired. I
keep on running,
but my feet don't get tired. My feet don't get tired, but my feet don't get tired. We all here for a reason on a particular path. You don't need a curriculum to know that you're a part of the math. Cats think I'm delirious, but I'm so serious. That's why I expose my soul to the globe, the world. I'm trying to make it better for these little boys and girls. I'm not just another individual. My spirit is a part of this, that's why I get spiritual. But I get my hymns from him, so it's not me, it's he that's lyrical. I'm not a miracle, I'm a heaven-sent instrument. My pneumatic regiment navigates melodic notes to your soul and your mental. That's why I'm instrumental. Vibrations is what I'm into. Yeah, I need my loot by rent day, but that ain't what gives me the heart of Kunta Kinte. I'm trying to give us free like Sinke. I can't stop. That's why I'm hot. Determination, dedication, motivation. I'm talking to you, my many inspirations, why I say I can't let you or self down. If I'm on the highest cliff, on the highest rift, and you slipped off the side and clutched onto your life in my grip, I would never, ever let you down. And when these words are found, let it be known that God's penmanship has been signed with a language called love. That's why my breath is felt by the deaf, and while my words are heard and confined to the ears of the blind, I too dream in color and in rhyme. So I guess I'm one of a kind in a full house, because whenever I open my heart, my soul, or my mouth, whenever we open our hearts, our souls, or our mouths, a touch of God reigns out. A touch of God reigns out here in the DreamBank. J. Ivy.
Jay, thank you for an amazing performance, man. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I felt like you transformed into something actually beyond human words. And so I really appreciate that performance for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What a remarkable career you've had, man. 3-time Grammy Award winner, man.
Yeah, that's what they tell me.
We'll get to that in just a bit. We'll get to that. But you've been kind of doing this thing for over 30 years now. And what we really want to know is what inspires you, my friend?
Well, I think it was a natural progression of discovering this gift. It started with my junior year high school teacher, my English teacher, who made me do a poem. Now, she didn't even make me. She had the class write a poem for homework. So it was a homework assignment that turned into her giving me an A on the poem after she made the class read their poems in the class. And she said, "You have a nice speaking voice. I have this talent show coming up. I want you to do this talent show." And I was very shy, very low self-esteem at the time. And I didn't do the show. She approached me again, said, "Last time I asked you to do a show, you faked me out. I got another show coming up. This time I'm not asking you, you have to do it." And by the way, her name is Miss Argue. What I learned is you're not gonna argue with somebody named Miss Argue.
Right.
So I do the show, and my first time on stage, I got a standing ovation. And it was the first time in life that I really felt seen or heard, or it was probably like the first time feeling a sense of purpose, you know, and that just really became my North Star, was pursuing this newfound gift, this new joy, this new love, this new passion. It's like, man, that feeling was amazing, being on stage and performing. Man, how can I do that again? And the inspiration just really started with chasing this feeling and chasing this newfound love.
And would you say it was that very point that you found like your true passion?
Yeah, it was standing on that stage, seeing, just being that young man that was just unsure of himself, to be standing in that moment and see a room full of people standing up clapping for me, it was so transformative. And it was, I didn't fully know what the purpose was at the time, but I knew this was the direction. So it really just, it set me on the path.
It's interesting that you say that, because I think that the most impactful stories really require you to be bold and to be fearless and really to share some truth. So how do you view your role in this process?
I felt my role as a poet, as a storyteller, is to be someone who's documenting the times, a street journalist, so to speak. I have a poem. It's a short piece. It kind of sums up what I feel my purpose is. It says, when the world is lost in its noise, the words of the poet are the calm in the storm, the seed of every song. Poets hold the souls of our stories. They are the messengers of hope and reason, translators of what's heard from the hearts and minds of the people, keepers of history, makers of magic and promise, street reporters who take notes for the future, who tell it like it is and how it should be. The words of the poet heals the wounds of our spirits, brings balance, breaks through the chaos, speaks life. That's why the world needs more poets. So I feel that as a poet, it's my responsibility to be an observer of the times, listen, and take what I see and hear and poetically translate that, so I can have art that I can give to the people that would help bring love, help bring healing, help bring understanding, maybe break down walls, connect us. I feel like that's been a big part of my purpose is the connectivity, and just bringing joy, just doing my best to bring joy, because I know ultimately the joy will bring healing. And I feel like our communities, our cities, our world needs a lot of healing.
And it's amazing that you can speak that healing, right?
Man, I thank God for the gift. I don't know. I know where it comes from, but I'm very grateful that I've been chosen to be blessed with the gift of communication and being able to connect with people.
Yeah, it truly is a gift, because for me, roses are red and violets are blue.
They are though.
If you think about this, where is your real North Star, right? Where do you see yourself?
I see myself, God is my North Star. Just the spirit and I feel like we're all spiritual beings. I heard someone say that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And I've always been driven by just connecting with people and finding those commonalities and breaking those walls down and finding joy and seeing that we are really all the same. I feel like there's a lot of division. So my North Star has been like just breaking that division down, and poetry, of course, is the tool or the vehicle that always gets me there. Because with poetry, I'm able to, it's like meditation. So I'm able to sit, be still, quiet myself, breathe deep, and listen. And then what I hear are the dreams that I catch with the pen and the pad. So poetry has always been, even when I didn't know where I was going, just having those moments of quiet and stillness and finding the stories would guide me along the way. So that's been and I feel like that comes from a higher power. So that's been my North Star.
Yeah, and obviously you do it well, man, because 3 Grammys. What does it feel like to have 3 Grammys, man?
Man, it's a dream, man.
Yeah?
It's a dream. Like it's funny, man. I've been doing this for so long, and it's been a great career over the years. And I'm always remembering those early times, because in the early days, it was the discovery of it all. And then, once you discover the purpose, then you're like, okay, what can I do with this purpose? And then you start dreaming and start visualizing and I want to do this. I want to perform in front of, thousands of people and make records and write books and be in movies. And you just have all these dreams and to walk up on a Grammy stage, it was literally me walking in the dream. I felt like I was in a movie. I felt like I was like, it doesn't feel real, but it's real. Like this is really happening, and to know that I was able to go and represent my family and my city, Chicago, and poets worldwide, because we typically hadn't been in a position to be on a platform like the Grammy. So to be the first poet to win a Grammy since Maya Angelou, the great Dr. Maya Angelou, it's humbling. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. I cried a lot, like a lot of tears of joy, and just amazed and just grateful. And then it's also, man, what's next? It was like, okay, all right, if we were able to do that now, what can we do next? So I definitely enjoyed the moment. I've been enjoying the moment. We were able to do it again this year, which is, I'm feeling like MJ and Pip, back in the 90s, back to back. And so it's a beautiful feeling, man. It's a beautiful feeling, and I want to take that feeling, that energy, and use it to create more, and hopefully we can keep putting a light on this art form that I feel helps a lot of people. Getting to this point and even advocating, like I was advocating for poets to even have a category that would highlight spoken word poetry. So to be, to fight and advocate for so long, and to you see years go by, it was absolutely what's one of those volcanoes?
Pick one.
Yeah. So so this year, the lava is still flowing. It's still I can't believe this is happening. It's still that feeling. That first one was like, the weight, the weight. I just felt the weight fall off. And then right after you pick the weight back up, I'm like, let's go.
Time to go to work.
Let's put in more work. So yeah, the second time, man, the feeling don't get old. It does not get old.
So tell me this, whether you're behind the camera or on stage, representation deeply matters.
Absolutely.
Right? And so how important is representation in the art for you?
Representation is everything. It's so important that we tell our stories. It's so important that the pen is in our hand, that the mic is in our hand, that we control our narrative. We've seen countless times in the past where a different light has been put on who we are as a people. And for me, I've always wanted to use my voice to uplift and represent the strength of who we are, the love of who we are, the grace that we come with, the perseverance we've had to have in order to endure all these obstacles that we face. So when it comes to our stories, to me that's very important. Like, our stories are a huge makeup of who we are as a people, and so it's always been important to me to fight, to be in a position to be able to voice myself. Even having the opportunity like this is something I do not take for granted, because I'm able to represent, again, my family, my city, poets, and art form that is often overlooked, but not today. Today that the art is being represented, and I'm grateful for folks like American Family Insurance and others who take the time to say, this is a beautiful art form. We love the work that you're doing. Can you come speak on it? To me, that's important, because someone else will be able to see that, and maybe one day, kids will look up and like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a poet. Yeah. To me, that's important, because we're educated through the art. We remember who we are. We visualize and manifest who we want to become. So this is a very, very important moment, and representation is absolutely important.
It's interesting you say that, because I actually see representation almost as the seed that needs to be watered, right? And once watered correctly, really that's where legacy can begin to be built, right? Dreams are built, right? And things of that nature.
Legacy, that's a very, very key word.
Yeah, right,
legacy,
right. So now we're in Black History Month.
Yeah.
And this is a time that the country reflects and honors all the contributions that African Americans have made and many achievements. Who is someone who really inspired you, right? Who's the person who watered your dream, right?
I mean, there's a lot, but first that comes to mind is Dr. Martin Luther King. Even when I first started performing, that first performance that Miss Argue made me do, I'm a hip hop baby. So I grew up, Run DMC and Slick Rick and LL Cool J and Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, and all the greats inspired me in a way of wanting to tell my story and seeing that it was possible. Like, oh wow, you can let the world know about where you come from and what you feel and what you're going through. And when it came time for that first performance, I wanted to use my voice like Dr. King had done in those speeches that he gave all those years ago. I always wanted to project and use my voice as a tool to cut through the noise and spark something in your spirit. Whenever I heard him speak, it just woke my spirit up, and so that was something I always wanted to emulate. And just seeing his story or reading up on his story and knowing how much he meant to the world, how much he helped drive a movement forward, helped drive the world forward in a positive direction. That was always one of my biggest inspirations. I mean, there are absolutely others, the poets like the Last Poets and Gil Scott-Heron. Those are folks that I've looked to creatively. With King, he's the one. He's the one. Outside of my family, because family, they ground you and teach you. Chicago grounds you and teaches you in a way that I feel like no other city does. But King is absolutely one of the heroes that gave me some wings.
Yeah. And take it from another Chicago kid, I agree with you. Definitely grounds you for sure.
Chicago let you know what it is, you know.
For sure.
Chicago really pushes you to be great. Like you may start off good, but okay, you're good. Yeah. but if you want to be like, Chicago will push you to be great, and then it's just it's just this. It's a love that just won't allow you to settle. Like man, dig deeper. Yeah. Like there's more. And then when you arrive, they love you forever. Yeah. Chicago love you forever. Like I would not be where I'm at without Chicago.
Yeah, for sure. And you talk a little bit about, you were a hip hop baby. How did you know that your gift was for poetry and not rap?
Well, I ain't got no rhythm.
Oh, so that'll do with that part, right?
So that was part of it. That was part of the decision making. It was like the rhythm was a little indifferent, but it always, like whenever I would sit down and write, it was always how it flowed out. It was always this poetic style, and people, a lot of people's like, man, why don't you rap? Why don't you rap? You can make more money, if you. I'm like, but that's not what my heart is saying, So for me, I never wanted to compromise who I was or flip the script and start rhyming just to try and get somewhere when that wasn't natural to how I was feeling, how I was writing, how I was dreaming. So I'm like, okay, my dream sounds like this, and I'm gonna stick to this because I've seen how this has impacted people. And if I start rapping, people see through it. They see through the inauthentic things, and that wouldn't have been authentic to me to rap. So.
And we're glad you didn't choose to rap.
Especially
if you don't have any rhythm. We really
the rhythm part. Oh my God. All these rhymes of mine. Oh Lord.
So we talked a little bit about legacy, and I think, it always kind of makes you bag up and go, right? Mm-hmm. Who's paved the legacy way for you to walk in your dreams?
Man, I got to give it up to my father. So I'm a junior. And my pops, he did radio. So I would wake up in the morning and listen to my father on the radio before walking to school in the morning. So Jim Richards was his radio name. And our relationship wasn't what I would have loved for it to be. Like, he was in my life as a child, and my folks, they ended up getting divorced, and I didn't hear from him for 10 years. And we had an opportunity to reconnect, but after we reconnected, a year and a half later, he passed on. And that put me in a roller coaster of emotions, a lot of ups and downs, and upset, and just feeling regretful for not having an opportunity to re-guide the ship and have this relationship. But in what I found, or what I soon discovered, was a lot of doors began to open. And I felt like I had this guardian angel that was opening doors. Shortly after he passed, I found myself on HBO Def Poetry, and this was my big break. And it's a beautiful story. It's a long story, but it's a beautiful story how I even ended up on the show, and to be one of the first to do that. And then I found myself in New York, and then I found myself on a record with Kanye and Jay-Z, and then it was just all these moments they just started to happen, and I would hear my father's voice, and I would know that, I know that the spirit doesn't die. So for me, like my pops, I really feel like I'm doing a lot that's tied to both mine and his legacy. And it's a beautiful feeling, man, and I'm honored to continue to blaze that trail.
Yeah. And you're doing an amazing job, man. Let me just say that. It's interesting. My first name is Jerome, starts with a J. I also am a junior as well.
Okay, yeah.
My dad also passed away, and we also experienced some of the same things in the relationship. So I am extremely proud of the legacy that you continue to build.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So you think about, kind of your relationships with your family and what you've gone through to get here. What really brings the true power behind your work? Like, what's the gas in the engine behind your work?
Love. Love is the gas. Love is, I think about moments that I've had where been able to perform for folks, and I've seen the shift. I've seen the change happen. I've seen a smile ignite that was buried, in a lot of hurt and pain. I've received messages from folks who told me that they were thinking about committing suicide, and they came across my poetry online. In particular, my poem "Dear Father" is a poem that I wrote about my relationship with my father, and they came across that poem. And it said because of that piece, it inspired them to still want to be here. So when I hear stories like that or get messages like that, when I travel around the world and people have my words tattooed on their bodies and tell me that they started doing poetry because of something they saw me do some years ago, it is that love that just makes me want to keep going and keep making a mark and making history. My mom always say, leave it better than what you found it. And I know, I'm like, well, we're not here forever, and while I'm here, I really want to make the most of it. I really want to inspire people. I want to leave this place better than what I found it. And I know I have this gift that allows me to potentially do that. So it's the love, man. It's the love that keeps me going.
Yeah, you speak the words that come out of me every day. I'm really on the same page. What do you really hope this next generation of dreamers takes from your journey, like your art, your legacy? What do you want them to get?
The next generation of dreamers, I want them to get. I want them to see the potential. Like, there's so much potential in what you can do, and I feel like if I've been able to do what I've done so far with limited means and just figuring it out and growing over the years, I can only imagine what the next generation will do. I mean, we have so many just brilliant, genius, creative, intelligent young folks who just have all the potential in the world to create significant change, and a lot of that starts with being fearless. A lot of that starts with believing in yourself and having love for yourself and others, and just going after it and never giving up. A lot of it starts with the dream, just like being a dreamer, like, and holding on to that dream, because the world has a way of manipulating the mind and snatching those dreams from you and throwing that amnesia on you, and you be like, oh man, you forgot all about your dream. Like, I used to do this, I wanted to do this. Like, man, I want the next generation to hold on to their dreams and work every single day at making their dreams come true. And then it's like, after a certain point, you look back and you realize, oh, this entire journey has been the dream. This entire journey has been the dream. Even when I bring up the Grammys, like the dream didn't come true walking up on the Grammy stage and Jimmy Jam was like, here you go, J.I. I'm like, man, Jimmy Jam. The Jimmy Jam just give me a Grammy. Like but that's not where the dream began. It didn't even begin when Miss Argue made me do that show. The dream, the entire journey has been the dream. So I want that next generation to know and believe and fight, like really, really fight to just live in your purpose, And I feel like we all know what that is. Sometimes it may just be a little whisper, and sometimes we ignore that whisper. But if you pay attention, and you'll notice that whisper will grow louder and grow louder, and then the whisper becomes your voice, and the world is willing to listen and wants to listen. The world wants to hear your voice and wants to hear your stories and your viewpoint, and I just want the next generation of dreamers to dream big, dream bigger, and just go get it and never give up.
Yeah, I'm like you, man. I want those dreamers to dream exceedingly abundantly above, right? Yes. And not just some average dream, right? So
absolutely.
I definitely feel you with that. So big dreams, big legacies, big hurdles.
Yeah.
Big obstacles.
Yeah.
Tell us about the biggest obstacle you faced.
Oh, the biggest obstacle. The biggest obstacle. It would probably be that hurdle of that emotional battle that I dealt with when my father passed. It was a tough moment just getting through that. And what I learned is I have a quote that says, if you don't deal with your emotions, one day your emotions will deal with you. And for me, I was 23 at the time. And so it was a key moment. It was a very pivotal time in life. And those feelings could have sent me in multiple directions. So for me, that would have been the biggest hurdle, just finding a way to master your feelings and getting a hold of yourself and knowing that, man, even if it hurts, man, everything happens for a reason. So, okay, what's the reason in this? What's the lesson in this? Okay, how can I use this to become better? Like, I want to be a better person, a better man. Like, how can I use this moment to become the best version of me? So that was probably the biggest. There's been the ups and downs. There's been rock bottom times, when it comes to career and things not going right, and you got to start all over. You got to reinvent. Got to, keep going when you don't feel like going, or you don't even really see a way to keep going. It's just something you just got to keep moving forward, and so those have been some of the biggest obstacles. And just I just want to be a good man, a good husband, a good neighbor, a good friend, a good family member. I just want to become better. So it's always, every day is that just growing and finding ways to become better.
I heard this a little bit in what you said, and I think you will agree with me, but sometimes you can be your own biggest obstacle.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Have you experienced self-doubt?
Absolutely.
And what was that like?
Self-doubt is a monster that you you just want to tell it to go away. Get out of here. Self-doubt is a very powerful force. Like, self-doubt will, it'll keep you from doing great things. I look at my career, and I've had those moments of, maybe you should be doing something else, or maybe this isn't for you, or you let the chatter from others creep into your mental, and you lose value, the value that you had, or even the value that you're looking for. It gets compromised by other people's thoughts or your own negative thoughts. And for me, it's always been, okay, reminding myself that I've been blessed, I've been given this gift, I know I'm a good person, I know that I've been put here to pursue certain things in life, and I'm not gonna let myself or others get in the way of that. Because those times where I had, let the chatter get in the way was when I was feeling the worst. It was like, man, you start feeling like, you feel a little worthless. You feel you lose your value, and then you fight through that. You get through it, and you're like, nah. Let me shake that off. I know that I was put here to do something incredible. So that's the wave we go ride. Because I can't settle for I can't let the doubt win. I can't let it win. So for me, it's constantly reminding yourself, constantly exercising your gifts and exercising positive thinking, and knowing that you're here for a reason. Like Never Let Me Down says, we're all here for a reason on a particular path, and that's a gift. And I don't want to discount that gift, and I don't want to waste my time. I was always one who I didn't want to be 60, 70, 80, 120. Looking back on life, saying, man, I wish I would have tried. I wish I would have. I'm I'm gonna take my shots.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my shots, and we don't hit them all. You know, like MJ ain't hit them all.
No.
You know, MJ went back to back, and so did I. You know, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm gonna keep taking my shots.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that because, you know, I often feel like the road to your dream and your GPS along the way is those doubtful things, is those negative naysayers, right? Like when you start eating those as you're on the right path, like it will become energy to get to the end goal versus being distractions of being at the end goal. So
Absolutely.
So, couple more things, couple more questions. Is there something that you've learned along your journey that you wish you had known sooner?
Oh man, that I belong. That I belong, and I think that feeds into that doubt. You know, it's like when you young and trying to find yourself. You know, you're open, and so you accepting everything. You know, all kind of thoughts and thinking, and you know, you're just trying to figure it out. So, and I know there were a lot of times where I may have backslid into my low self-esteem or lacking confidence, and those feelings that I think I attribute some of it coming from my folks not being there and having having abandonment issues, and because of that, there were times where I didn't feel like I belonged or I felt out of place. And I would, you know, if I was talking to the younger self, you know, or able to give some tidbits, I would just like encourage myself and remind myself, like, yo, you belong. Like, we all here for a reason. You belong. And don't let anybody make you feel like you don't belong. And if they try to make you feel that way, maybe they don't belong.
Right.
You know, so
That's good.
like just go where you're welcome, go where the energy is right, where it's warm, where there's love. And that starts with self. You know, that really starts with yourself, is looking in the mirror and having love for the persons you see. And knowing that, like, you belong.
Yeah, that's so important. You know, here at American Family Insurance, we truly believe in transformational power of dreams. And as we close this conversation today, I'd love to ask just two more questions. One, how do you dream fearlessly?
I think I dream fearlessly by knowing I've been given a gift, and knowing and having enough evidence to know that I can use my stories and use my poetry to make that change. You know, like even I have a younger cousin who's pursuing poetry, and phenomenal. He's a phenomenal poet. Shout out to my cousin Amir. And he called me yesterday. He's like, man, I got this performance. I want to run this poem by you. And you know, so I listened, gave him some advice. I'm gonna have fun. But one of the points was, like, you have to be fearless. Like, you have to be fearless enough to be uncomfortable. Yeah. You know, so that's when you grow. They're called growing pains. Like, it hurts, it's uncomfortable, but you're growing, which is a good thing. So I think you have to be able to be uncomfortable in order to try things you normally wouldn't try. It's like, okay, if you have a set of, like, if you have your ways, your habits, okay, would it be uncomfortable to make you try something, you move in a different direction? So when it comes to writing and when it comes to performing, you absolutely have to be fearless. You have to get out of your head. You can't overthink. You just have to do it. Just trust yourself, trust your gut. I have a rule of thumb that says, like, okay, if I feel it, other people will feel it. And I learned that by writing, and I'll write a line, I'm like, ooh, I'll write a line, I'll laugh. I'll write a line, I might cry. And then later on when I perform the piece, same place where I say, ooh, the audience is saying, ooh. Same place where I laugh, the audience is laughing. Same place I cried, they crying. So oh, if I feel it, other people will feel it. Yeah. So I think it's important to just trust yourself. I think that's part of the fearlessness, just trusting who you are, trusting your gifts, trusting that you belong, trusting that you are enough, trusting that your purpose will be fulfilled if you keep going. So to me, those are some of the ways that you dream fearlessly, and make sure that you continuing to put deposits in that dream bank. Yeah. And those deposits is positive thinking and the work and the perseverance. Those, you just keep putting deposits in that dream bank, and the dream will reward you. You know.
Wow, Jay, man, incredible time with you, man. I thank you so much for sharing your talent and your story and your advice to us today, man. Really appreciate it. This was really everything we hoped for and even more, man. You have been a phenomenal host to us, and thank you for your time. And we are incredibly grateful for you and your gifts and your dreams, and for sharing those with us today.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you, American Family Insurance, the DreamBank, to Jerome over here, man. Appreciate y'all. This has been a dream, and it's a gift to me. So, on behalf of me, my family, my city, and poets worldwide, thank y'all.
To stay in touch with DreamBank's events, programs, and online offerings that are designed with your dreams in mind, visit us at amfam.com/DreamBank and connect with us on our social channels. We've enjoyed celebrating Black culture, heritage, and community alongside you today, this month, and throughout the year. We encourage you to join us for our next special event, The Confidence to Stand Out with Allison Felix. We invite you to scan the QR code and register to join us for this impactful conversation. To all of you that have tuned in and spent time with us, we thank you. On behalf of American Family Insurance and DreamBank, we look forward to hosting you again soon. Until then, keep dreaming fearlessly.